All right, I've got a confession to make about these chocolate chip cookies I make. Only the most recent batches have been Ghirardelli triple chocolate mix from BJ's. Hang on. Triple chocolate. 3 kinds of chocolate chips, and I'll tell you what they are. Bittersweet, semi-sweet, and milk chocolate. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, I make my own little adjustments to the recipe. It just says to add a half stick of it says a half stick of room temperature butter. I melted it. And 1 egg. So I do add that first and foremost. Like, let's get it's mostly melted. Mostly melted. I'm gonna dump it right in there. See if we can't use the spatch to get every last drop. 1 egg. Woo! Nice. Okay, but here's where my special touches come in. First and foremost, another type of chocolate chip. So now we're at 4 kinds of chocolate chips, okay? And these are semi-sweet mini morsels. Because I like an obscene amount of chocolate. Let's be honest here. I'm just going to finish off the bag. There wasn't really many left in there. I'll show you. Just that little puddle. Not a whole lot. I do have another bag of chocolate chips I could get. But now I kind of want to put mini marshmallows in there. Why do I want to put mini marshmallows in my chocolate chip cookies? Because that would be delicious. And then my other dark brown sugar. Dark brown sugar. It has to be dark. Can't be light. We need all that molasses because they stay, like I crumble it in there, but it stays a little clumped up. And then you get these morsels of just decadence. Little balls of brown sugar in between. Oh my God. And it's so good. Yes. And I just do 2 nice handfuls like that. And that's how I modified this recipe. Mind you, you've watched me make cookies from scratch before, and they're delightful, but this comes with 3 pouches of cookie mix. My dad bought it for me when he was here like 2 weekends ago. I'm surprised it's lasted this long. Like, shocked, actually, that it's lasted this long. And now my favorite thing to do, mix. And you just do gentle folds and presses. Back and forth. It's all on the wrist here. You can see it. Could have probably a little bit of elbow work. Mostly wrist and shoulder here. But you see how it's coming together in such a beautiful dough like that? Yeah. Yes. All right. Now this dough is really wet, is the thing. So once we get it out onto the sheets, we do have to refrigerate it just for a couple minutes. Because while I like to get these nice and thin and like gooey, oh my God, yes. There is too thin and too gooey. Not really, let's be honest. I would have eaten every single one of that, all 24 of those cookies if I could have. If I could have gotten away with not sharing these cookies, I would have eaten all of them. That I might do that with this batch. I might not share it at all. Like, you'll be lucky. You'll be lucky to see them hit the light of day. I'll get more. I'll get more of those boxes. I'll make plenty more of these cookies. Oh, let me put away the brown sugar first. And then I'll move a little so you guys can see the setup. I always get the semi-sweet chips when I go to the store. I always get the semi-sweet chocolate chips. I don't know what it is. they're just my favorites, especially if I'm making a cookie, you know? They're so good. All right, I think this is good. So we're just going to take parchment paper, of course. We want our 1 tablespooner. Fuck yeah. Oh my god, that's good. A little spoony poo. I used to have a cookie scooper. I think my auntie still has it. I think I left it at her house. I'm going to have to come get that, Jeannie. You can see how soft it is. Oh my god. Because I melted the butter. That's why we got to firm it back up a little bit. But I don't want it too firm because I want it to really thin and spread out. You know, I really want that effect. I might even sea salt the top of some of them. You know why? Because it's my kitchen and they're my cookies and I get to make whatever kind of cookies I want. Yes. They're so beautiful. Well, you know what? I should have cleared off a shelf in the fridge. I can do that right now. I mean, they look incredible. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's see. I'm going to need to clear 2 shelves off at least. So let's stack a couple of things here. Okay. That should be enough room for cookies. You know what? Let's be real. Let's be real responsible. Let's not drop cookies all over the floor. We have tools, we use them. Okay. So they're gonna set while we make our next 8 cookies. These I will salt. All 8 of them too. And I'm gonna use my flaky kosher salt. Oh, I should have saved the pretzel salt from earlier. I will say HelloFresh also has these like frozens and pre-mades and like little side stuff and desserts. And they're all, everything I've had so far has been really good. One of the little sides that they offer are like pretzel bites. And so they send it with the pretzel salt package, you know? And I had a little bit left over from making my pretzels. And I threw it out earlier because I didn't see any use for it. And now here we are. I've also been coloring in mandala pictures, which, all right, to be fair, Lex, I did tell you that they were stressing me out like yesterday. I'm filming this on Monday. We saw each other on Sunday. Wait, what day is it? Oh my God, it's Tuesday. I do have to go to the office. Bro, fuck. Okay, everything's fine. This is fine. See, aren't we glad we started making the cookies anyways then? Girl, I cannot believe. I even went back and recorded a whole thing amending my statement. I said today was Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. Oh, I was wrong. I didn't even look. I didn't even check, you know? I was just so confident in my gut for no reason. Oh my God, how long have I been sitting here thinking that today was Monday? Oh my God, dude. Okay. I'm going to use the spoon to make like a little depression just to flatten them on the very top a little so that the salt like sits there. Okay. And then after this, I'm going to have to make a batch of chocolate-less chocolate chip cookies for Nathan for his birthday. Fuck, today is Tuesday. Damn. You know why? Because I called out this afternoon, like I took some PTO because I started my period today, apparently right on time instead of a day early like I thought. Oh my God. Anyways, yeah, so I took the afternoon off because I was just cramping really bad, and I ended up cleaning my car a little bit and just lounging really and coloring mandala pictures actually. And I did, I did my budget for May and June as well. Just figured I'd plan ahead a little. And actually, all of a sudden, the sitting and coloring the mandalas is not stressful. Like, it was hard for me to sit for more than like 3 minutes at a time and color in just a tiny little piece. Like, I couldn't do it. But today, and you know what? Part of it I think is because I was on the phone with my friend Haley. So I don't know. All I know is I colored in a whole lot of it today. Like, I think I was coloring for a good 30 minutes. I'm really proud of myself. Well, let's see how this is firmed up a little. Because it even looks a little firmer. No! Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yes, you're perfect. Okay. In the oven you go for 10 minutes. 15 on the clock. You know what? I'm starting a timer. And we're back. To make the last of this particular batch of cookies before I move on to the chocolate-less chocolate chip, which is just a sugar cookie with brown sugar as well as white sugar. But this is Nathan's favorite type of cookie, so this is what I'm making him for his birthday. Just scoot them back a little bit. There we go. Okay, so this is not enough for 24 cookies, actually. It's got 8, 16, 21 cookies. Okay. 21's a nice 3 number. I like that. I'm okay with that. We're going to keep those because we're going to make more cookies anyways. So I'm actually going to plop you here, plop you guys over here. That's better. Okay. Oh, that's hot. Because it's been on top of the oven. Coordination. Oh. Okay. That was more of a struggle than it really needed to be, I think. All right. Let me go get a recipe for the not chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chipless cookie. $3.25. Okay. 1 whole egg and 1 yolk creates the best texture. Okay, I can do that. Melt the butter, let it cool slightly. Oh, yes, more melted butter. All right, this is going to be for the dry. So let me grab flour, baking soda. I don't have cornstarch. I could probably do powder and soda. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Oh, let me get this butter melting. I still have the butter bowl from the last one. So we're just going to dump her right on in there and set her up on the burner. This is not a live burner. This is an electric stove. It's not a live burner. It's a broken burner that doesn't work, and it's missing the little thing that stops the oven from losing heat. So it technically kind of still works, actually. So I put the bowl with the butter on top of the burner, and I let the heat do its thing. And it's really efficient and beautiful. Okay. 1 3/4 cup all-purpose flour. This is what I mean. You guys have seen me make cookies from scratch. This is nothing new. At least, I'm pretty sure you have. Okay. 1. Level her off. 1/2. Quarter. 1 3/4 cup. Huzzah! Got flour on my tablet. Oh, I don't clip the flour. Okay, that's cool. And then let's see, 1 teaspoon baking soda. And like I said, I don't have cornstarch, so I'm going to do baking powder instead. We're going to see how that turns out. And I'm going to do a little bit less than a full teaspoon of baking powder in place of the 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Am I going to look up the substitution? No. Should I? Probably. Am I going to trust my soul instead? Yes, I am. I'm just going to trust my soul. A little bit less than 1 teaspoon. I'll put these babies back. Yes, we clean as we go. Okay. Whisk flour, baking soda, cornstarch, and salt. 1 teaspoon kosher salt. Whisk. I really like my rubber whisk. It's very malleable. So it gets around all the edges. It's interesting. Oh, and it's doing a really good job of sifting the flour too. Oh, this is gorgeous. Huzzah. Combine brown sugar, white sugar. So 1/4 cup granulated sugar. So we've got that white granulated. 3/4 cup dark brown sugar packed. It's my fave. Dark brown sugar and packed. My fave. I'm going to need more flour and sugar soon. Well, dark brown sugar. My granulated sugar I barely use, honestly. So you want this sugar packed, but then you want me to break up lumps with my fingers? It's a good thing that I usually already do that anyways. Hee. So I'm just going to crumble it right up in there. 3/4 cup and a half cup. I mean, 1/4 cup. So 3/4 cup of the brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of the white sugar. Break up any lumps of brown sugar with your fingers. Whisk. This butter is mostly melted, or about half melted. It says melted and cooled for about 10 minutes. I don't have time. The gasp of dramatics was because the timer went off 2 minutes ago for these cookies. So they've got 12 minutes instead of 10 minutes. Luckily, they look fucking gorgeous. They're going to come over to the cooling counter here. My God. And then let's grab one of the batches out the fridge. We're going to grab the batch with the salt. That's been in here the longest. I'm going to let it sit out on top for a minute because I don't want them too warm. I don't want them too cold, going into the oven. I want them nice and warm. So let us whisk the sugar to start. Get that combined. Oh my God, those cookies over there look incredible. I will eat one in front of you, just so you know. And I'm going to break up the big lumps of brown sugar, but like I said, those ooey gooey gorgeous bits that you run into mid-cookie, those are like little gems. Okay. Whisk in for about 1 to 2 minutes. It should look like a paste. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Still a little too firm. Then add 1 egg, whisk until smooth. Then add egg yolk and vanilla. Whisk again until smooth. Oh, perfect. I get to use my last 2 eggs for this. Don't worry, there's no shell in there. Whisking in the egg. And I'll do the whites into the butter bowl. And I want a nice, good, even crack for this so I can separate. All right, come on, baby. Come on, baby. There we go. All right, if y'all ain't never separated an egg before, I'm gonna show you how. I just cracked it in half, and then you just gently scoop away. Use the edge of the shell. Be careful not to break the yolk. You just want to get away as much of that white as possible. So you just kind of pass the yolk back and forth very delicately until you've got about that much. Yolk in, and you're done. Ta-da! Okay, I think these are ready to go in for 10 minutes. We're at 16. I'm still gonna do the timer. I turned off Do Not Disturb so that hopefully the timer makes a sound this time. And I'm whisking in that egg yolk now. We've got this like really smooth looking paste thing going on. This is really cool. I'm very intrigued by this chocolate chipless cookie so far. Egg yolk, oh, and vanilla. Where's my vanilla? Here we go. Got a little lazy Susan for my spices and stuff. 1 tablespoon pure vanilla extract. Oh, frick yeah. Okay. I think I got it. Yep. All right. Oh, and it's a full tablespoon, no less. I love that. And I just do a little extra splash because I am obsessed with vanilla. Doesn't taste good alone though. Now we have to fold in the dry ingredients, which means I have to retire the whisk, which is good because once you get in with the flour and it starts getting all like thick, that's when you really got to put in that elbow grease. That's where that folding technique comes in. Using a 2 tablespoon scoop. Okay. Ah! We're using a 2 tablespoon scoop, or rather, I don't have a scoop anymore. I will soon. So we're just going to do 2 tablespoons, obviously, for each cookie. All right, let me get as much of the batter off the whisk as I can. God, that's gorgeous. I want to lick it. Sugar. Exactly what it tastes like. I mean, exactly what it is. All right. All the flour at once. I don't care. We're doing it. And now we fold. Just until incorporated. Do not overmix, she says. This is Kroll's Corner with K's, Kroll, corner with a K instead of a C. I don't think I've ever used one of her recipes before, but this one looked really intriguing. Looked simple. I figured it would be a good first go. And I probably, I might have maybe wanted to do a test batch before the party. I should have thought of that. So hopefully these are delicious, but if they're not, I just know the chocolate chippers will be. Okay, we got 6.5 minutes left on those cookies in the oven. All right, so we're getting a good fold in. The flour is starting to get mostly incorporated. See, we're kind of thickening up here. You just got to use a lot of elbow grease with these guys. Sometimes if the dough is really thick, I'll get in there. I'll just get in there with my hands. I mean, I'll put on usually gloves, but I'll just go in and I'll knead everything in with my hands. if the dough gets too thick, because I don't have a hand mixer. So I can't, I don't have a hand mixer or a stand mixer. And there's only so much a spatula or a spoon can do. Oh yeah, look at her. There we go. This is all, look at that, coming together into a nice proper dough. Look at that consistency though. That's tough. Which is why I left that butter nice and melted. Because I knew, because I've made so many batches of cookies at this point. Oh my God, yes. I love it. Okay. So let's get parchment paper and get going. I absolutely love parchment paper. I like parchment a lot more. I like parchment a lot better than I like aluminum and shit. I'll use parchment for everything. Aluminum I try to avoid. It just feels wrong for a lot of reasons. My aunt said something about it contributing to dementia or Alzheimer's or something, like cognitive decline. I'm like, oh no, get away. All right, so here's well, you know what? Or I could just, yeah, let's do two we'll just do 2 tablespoons. Just flatten it off a little bit. Yes. See, that's like a big glob too. This is a big cookie. You'll see. This is about to be big cookies, guys. Nathan, I really hope you like these cookies, man. My heart and soul went into these. My heart and soul goes into everything I cook. That's why I always try to feed people. I always want to feed people. You come to my house, I'm going to offer you food, you know. I'm going to offer you a beverage. I'm going to offer you food. I'm going to want to cook for you. I'm going to want to make sure you're well fed. If I hear that tummy grumble, I'm filling it. It's 2 good tablespoons. These are big honking cookies. We're only going to do 6 per sheet, whereas the other ones where I just did 1 tablespoon each got 8 per sheet. But these are also expected to yield, I think she said 16 to 18 instead of the 24 that the other batch is supposed to yield. So we shall see. Okay. So this is my first batch of cookies, the chocolateless. Woo! Ow. I'm going to move these to the fridge, let them cool a bit. Let them set up. 2 more minutes on those cookies. Get out of the way. These are just gorgeous. Oh. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. These are the best chocolate chip cookies, and these are the ones that are 2 minutes overcooked. Wait till you see the ones. But even then, even still, these are gorgeous. Just a little crispy around the edges. I keep outdoing myself. Every batch of cookies I make, I get better and better, and I know that's the point. But like, damn. You go, girl. I'm gonna make some man very happy one day. But only about as happy as he makes me, so. Seconds. I'm gonna pause this. Well, I'm not gonna pause, but I mean, I'm gonna stop making cookies for a sec. Just pull these babies out. Oh, yes. Gorgeous. Gorgina. And maybe just another little sprinkle. Fuck. I didn't want to do the... Just a little salt on top. Okay. To the cooling table we go. These are just fucking gorgeous, is what they are. Oh my god. You guys, you need to be in my kitchen, experiencing this with me. I'm like really bummed that nobody's here to experience this with me, guys. Woo! Hot mama. All right. Next batch out the fridge. This is the 5 cookies. Oh, I should have gotten this out a couple minutes ago. I didn't even think of it. No, you know what? I want to put them in just like this, actually. A little experiment. Give it another 10 minutes. One moment. All right. 10 minutes in the oven. And those are only 5 cookies. So actually, I'm going to turn the light on and keep an eye on them babies, because those cookies melted into one another, which I was actually a little bit surprised about, given the fact that I had... Like, they were still pretty firm when I put them in there, but they had started to really soften up. So I guess I can't be too surprised. Either way, decadent, gorgeous, stunning, amazing. Okay. This pan's still really hot, but it'll work. Just for the transport. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. They kind of flipped themselves right on over. God, these cookies are just gorgeous. I can't. They're so stunning. You guys are going to have to pry them out of my cold, dead hands. I'm serious. These cookies look incredible. And I'm going to let this dough sit, because the oven has to cool down. It's at 375 right now for these cookies, for my chocolate chippies. But it's only supposed to be 325 for these beauties. And I think we're just going to do 3 little 1 tablespoon cookies, because that's all we have enough for the last. Yep. Okay. Beautiful. I'm leaving such a mess for myself to clean up tomorrow, but I don't even care, because I've made so many cookies. It's unrealistic. It's unbelievable. I love it. This is what I live to do, guys. All right. I'm going to keep taking these out and put them in, rotating the batches. So I'll check in with you guys once I've got all the batches finished up, and I can present you with all my freshly baked cookies. All right. All right. It's 11 o'clock at night. I took a little nap on the couch, but the chocolate chip cookies are done and packed up. The chocolate-less chocolate chip cookies, the chocolate chipless cookies are done. I'm going to try one of the small ones. I want to see what they're like. Interesting. Soft and chewy. Sweet. A lot of vanilla. Oh, but that's nice. I maintain chocolate chip is better, for sure, but Nathan is, if this is what you want, then this is what you get, man. Happy birthday, Nathan. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, joining me on this journey of making many, many cookies. Made with love, as always. All right, guys. I'm cooked. Good night.